Welcome everybody to a look at a new release from Vinegar Syndrome via one of their subsidiaries, Umbrella Entertainment, although obviously Umbrella do sell their own things via their own website. But it is 1986's Sky Pirates. So directed by Colin Eggleston, who also did the really rather great Long Weekend. And this is an adventure film, clocking in at 88 minutes long. Stars John Hargreaves, who was also in Death Cheaters as well as Long Weekend. Max Phipps, who was in Mad Max 2. He played one of the many colourful characters in that film, as well as Bill Hunter, who was in the really rather fantastic films Muriel's Wedding and The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. So Air Force Lieutenant Harris embarks on a flight to Boa Boa. On board, Reverend Mitchell, with a box containing a part of a top secret extraterrestrial key. They get lost in a supernatural storm and find themselves after an emergency landing in a kind of Bermuda Triangle, which is more than 5,000 miles off their course. Home again, no one believes Harris' story, and his crew suspiciously denies it too. Harris is then thrown into jail, but thankfully manages to escape. Together with Mitchell's daughter, he seeks the lost part of the key and its secret. So this is obviously a blatant rip-off of the Indiana Jones films, be it from the similar sounding score to the rather similar sounding punch sound effects to the general aesthetic look, and there's even a truck fight scene which really does remind me of the first film as well. So yeah, but aside from all that and an anticlimactic final act, this was on the whole really rather entertaining. The cast is good, the time travel scene is visually great and well produced, it is generally engaging, there are several laughs, the action scenes are solid, the score is decent despite being a knockoff, and the pacing is on point as well. So yeah, it might well be a knockoff, but it's a knockoff in a way that, isn't, doing it in a really bad way. It is still on the whole a well produced film, well acted and such, but yeah, it's the comparisons or the you know the attempts to emulate Indiana Jones is really noticeable. It's set during the same kind of period, World War Two. Um, it's got a lot of mysticism to it and such, but on the whole, a rather enjoyable effort and gets a solid 3.5 out of 5. Um, but yeah, it's not a complete rip off because obviously we are dealing with a different kind of aspect here. We're not dealing with like a biblical you know artifact or anything like that, like we were with Indiana Jones films, especially the first one. We are dealing with something that's a bit more extraterrestrial. The likes of Easter Island is plays a prominent part in this as well, as you can see at the reverse. There's Easter Island. So yeah, it's a knockoff in certain respects, but it's a knockoff in not a knockoff in other aspects as well, because obviously our lead character is also a lieutenant. He's an airplane pilot, which obviously Indiana Jones is not. So there's the inside, and there's a slipcover artwork as well. And yeah, on the disc itself, we've got audio commentary with producer Michael Hirsch, cinematographer Gary Wapshot, script supervisor Chenny Tosi, and stills photographer David Parker, moderated by filmmaker Mark Hartley. Then we've got an extended Not Quite Hollywood interviews with writer-producer John D. Lamond and cinematographer Gary Wapshot. Deleted and extended scenes. VFX test footage with commentary by visual effects supervisor Dennis Nicholson. VFX breakdown featurette. Film Buffs forecast tribute to John D. Lamond with Michael Hirsch, Alan Finney, Paul Harris, and Mark Hartley. An Indiana Clones trailer reel, which again just really more emphasizes that this is a clone of that kind of film. Then extensive stills and poster gallery and the original theatrical trailer as well. The transfer for this as well looks absolutely superb. It's 1080p. It doesn't say that it's had any kind of like restoration or anything like that, but it does look really rather good. And yeah, it doesn't look like it's just a poor DVD or old Blu-ray knockoff or anything like that. It does look really good, and it's in the aspect ratio of 2:39:1 as well. While it does have English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. So yeah, on the whole, a really rather solid effort. I wasn't expecting much from this, but it's another really rather decent Australian film, and one that yeah, I'll enjoy watching again at some point in the future. So yeah, but nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.